Hey, it's Steve at Raybuck Auto Body Parts. You can see I have the 54 Chevy behind me, and today's project is going to be replacing the weather stripping around the rear window. So I'm going to get close so you can see what it looks like, and then we'll go through the steps that it's going to take to replace that. This is the original weather stripping, at least I believe it is. You can see it is really cracked and falling apart. Actually, most of this is already fallen out. You can see the top of the window right here. Which is obviously not a good thing. If water gets on here, it's just going to pour right down inside. You can see it's cracked all the way around. A lot of the other seals around the vehicle have been replaced. This one was not, probably because it's a little trickier to get this one out, especially if you're doing it by yourself. But I'm going to show you how to do that. So as you can imagine, these older cars, the weather stripping, even if it's garage kept, it's going to dry rot after a while. It's going to get really hard. Like this one, I'll show you. I could actually probably peel sections of it out with my hand. There you go. Some of it cracked out. This one actually peeled a little bit, but some of the areas up in here, I was able to just literally crack it. I bet you if I just put something under here and pry it up, it would crack in little pieces. So if you got an older car, there's a really good chance you're going to need to replace the weather stripping around maybe the rear or the front window. Could be the windshield or even some of the side ones. The rear window and the front windshield are fairly similar on a lot of these older cars, at least in how you install it. So we'll go through that in a few minutes. This reproduction weather stripping that I got is from Clusters. It's all made in the USA, which I kind of like that. You don't find that a whole lot. This particular one is for 53 and 54 two-door and four-door sedans. So you can see it's the rear window gasket, what they call the gasket. This one does not have a chrome groove in it. The Bel Airs and some of the other ones would have had a chrome groove for some of the chrome trim that went around, or the stainless trim that went around the windows. This one does not. So we'll get rid of that. Here is the new weather stripping. And this is a one-piece. Sometimes you might find a two-piece. This one, I believe that's where it was sealed together. You can see the groove. This is a one-piece. So that groove, I believe, we're going to lay it out, but I believe that's going to go in the center bottom portion of the window. Typically, if it's not sealed like this, if there's a split in it, that split would go right down in this lower portion of the window right there. I didn't take a video of this. We did one on the 53 Raybuck truck, and it worked out like that. Put that split down in the middle, and then it works all the way around. So I'm going to show you what the grooves look like on here. I'm going to talk about how it goes into the vehicle, and then we're going to start taking the old one out and getting the new one in. Since this weather stripping is so bad, I mean, obviously you could see, just saw a few seconds ago, this whole groove is out. I could actually see the inside of the rubber, and if I push down on it, you could probably even see it move a little bit. If you can see that moving in there. But that's the inside portion of the rubber. This is the edge of the glass. It goes like that for a good portion of the window, actually almost half of this window. If I tried hard enough, oh, you can probably see it. I can get it to move. I could actually get the glass to move. I could probably pull it out if I really tried. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a knife and just kind of run along the edge of this over there and over there, and I'm going to cut just that little bit off, or just score it so I could peel it off, and then take the window out and lay it down. That's why I put the towels and the sheet down here, so I could just take the window and just lay it, and then I'll take all this out. We'll clean the window off. It's filthy, but I'm going to clean all this edge off, and then we'll clean up the edge of the lip that's all the way around here that the new weather stripping is going to sit on, and then we'll get ready to install it. Okay, safety glasses, working with glass. Anything else, you'd probably want them anyway, and definitely gloves. Don't want to slice my finger on all this glass or have something else happen. So get this ready, and I'm going to start cutting on that side, working my way around, and then we're going to get this window out. Obviously, if you have help, if you have a second person, that would be beneficial, because then you could have two people and you could lift this whole thing right out without taking a chance of dropping it. But I'm by myself, so I'm doing it myself. Okay, so there you go. It took a little bit longer than I thought. I thought it was all going to break out just like this section did, where I was just kind of peeling it and it was breaking apart. For some reason, that side of the car, the rubber was still fairly pliable. So I had to go at it a few times, make a few passes, and get under there and peel it out. Obviously, if you have a very nice car, nice paint job and everything, you probably want to do a little bit different than this. Obviously, if it's like that, you've probably already taken this out and dealt with this already. So for this one, it's fine. It's flat black. I figured worst case scenario, if I get scratched, or if it scratched it, then I'll just touch it up. Not a big deal. Anyway, I got the whole top and the sides down. So what I'm thinking is I loosened the bottom up. And I'm thinking I could probably just take this out now. Again, if you had someone else, someone on the inside, someone on the outside, or one person on either side taking this out, I'm going to reach underneath here, push on it a little bit, and see if I can just get this thing to start peeling up. Hopefully I don't break it, and then I get it out, lay it down. Okay, there it is, out. Actually, that wasn't that bad. So a little bit of pressure on each side, it just came right out. So I'm going to move this window, get it the heck out of here so that I don't actually bump it and knock it off and shatter it. I'll get it all cleaned up around the edges. I'm going to take the rest of the old seal off, get this all cleaned up, and then I will show you what the new one looks like, how to align the grooves, what to do with the rope and with a little bit of soap, and then we're going to get this thing installed. So I got the window out of the way. I'm going to start taking the old weather stripping off. Literally, it should just peel off. There shouldn't be any sort of adhesive. Obviously, on these old cars, you know as well as I do, someone at some point put silicone around this. So I'm sure I'm going to have that somewhere here. I'm going to have to get that cleaned off. But from the factory, I believe there was no adhesive. When the new one goes on, there's no adhesive. It's just that pinch fit, and that's it. So I'm going to start taking it apart and hopefully, cross fingers, not too much silicone, not too much paint comes off with it, and then we'll get it cleaned up. Sorry, I'm interjecting this one thing I forgot to mention. Pretty important. Remove the inner trim, the window trim. Just a couple of screws that goes all the way around the perimeter on the inside. That pops out. Without taking that out, you're going to have a really, really hard time getting the old one out and especially getting the new one in. So the seal is all out. Here's what the corners look like. It's kind of a goopy mess. Some of this, I'm almost wondering if it was factory in here. I don't know. On the truck that we did, the 53, it didn't have anything like this. Not sure about on the passenger cars. It's consistency of like a duck seal. It's kind of sticky, stiff and solid. And it was mostly just around the perimeter right here from right about that area down and around on both sides. There really wasn't much else. There was like a little bit sort of out in the center here, nothing along the top, so I don't know if someone just packed that in at some point over the years, because that's normally where it would have leaked anyway, but that's what's there. I scraped all of it out, and I'm going to clean it and get the whole edge cleaned up right now. Okay, so you can see I got all that other stuff cleaned out, and actually it looks really good. Surprised for as old as this is and the condition that the car was in, that this lip is as good as it is. Usually these are kind of rotted away, especially down in this section. Looks like there's only one little teeny pinhole there. I don't know if you guys can see this. Maybe right there you can see it. I believe this is the original color of the car. Obviously the car is flat black right now. I had no idea what the original color was. It looks sort of like an aqua color, so I kind of wish it was still that color. That's really, really cool. If any of you guys know, I don't have any color sheets here or the swatches, but if anyone knows what the original color options were, if there was anything like this, please comment below. I'd really like to know, because who knows, maybe this car will get repainted at some point in the near future. Well, probably distant future, but I really, really like that. I'd like to find out what that color is. Anyway, this is all cleaned up. I got the actual window itself cleaned around the edges, so I'm going to get this thing ready to get put back in. One thing I might do, I might actually get a slight diversion here. This filler piece that's back here, it's just cardboard. You can see underneath it, there's the original deck lid, or the rear filler piece behind the rear seat. I may mount speakers in there. As much as I don't like the look of it, I think I was originally thinking about putting 2 speakers in here because the car didn't have any, and then making a custom mesh cover to go over top of this so you don't see them. I like having the speakers there for the sound, but I just don't like seeing them because originally you would not have seen that. So I might take this out, I might cut the speakers in and at least get it set up so that I could just make that cover and put that in. So that might be another video that happens in between this one. So if we come back and you see some speakers cut out here, that's going to be why. After that though, we're getting to the window install, and hopefully that won't take much longer to get put in. Okay, so I did what I was talking about. I mounted the speakers in this filler area here, and I cut the material put over top of it. It's just loosely sitting in here. I'm going to take that out of here in a minute. I was just letting the glue dry. So I'm going to take that out, and then we're going to get ready to put the rear window in. So there's the window there. I took it out. I cleaned all around the edges just to make sure that was all cleaned up. There is the old seal that came out in sort of pieces, and here's the new seal. So the way this works is there's 2 grooves. You can see there's a groove here, and if I roll it over, there's a little thin groove here. So the thin groove, at least on this particular seal, is where the window is going to go in. So the window is going to go in there, and then this groove on the back is what's going to go around the lip and lock around this to seal it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put this down near the window. I'm going to get some soapy water and put it all in this seam and then work it around the window. The soapy water helps lubricate the rubber so it doesn't stick to the window, and will help this slide over top of it. And then once the window is fully in this seal, or the seal is fully all the way around the window, we're going to get ready to put it into the car. And that's where the rope comes into play. So I'm going to use, it's probably about a 1/4 inch. You could use, like, I think between like 1/8 and 1/4 inch rope. This is a little bit thicker and coarser than what I would normally want to use. You'd probably want to use more of a softer nylon or a cotton or something like that rope that doesn't have all these little grooves. You want something that's a little bit smoother all the way around, but this should work. We're going to put that all the way through this groove all the way around, and we're going to overlap it at the bottom so it sticks out at the bottom, and we're going to start from the bottom. We're going to work our way all the way around. So what happens is when you put the rope in this groove, you can pull the rope from the inside, and I'll show you how that works. I'm going to do this myself. Typically you need like 2 people to do this, but I have these suction cups. I'm going to try to pull it from the inside and then work the rope in the suction cup at the same time. But what you're going to do is the rope will be towards the inside of the vehicle, and as you pull the rope, it's going to open this lip up here and get it to seal around that groove that I just showed you on the car. So that's how it's supposed to work. We're going to see if it really does, if I could do it myself using a couple suction cups and that rope. So I'm going to get started. We're going to get this seal put on the window, and then from there we're going to get the rope in, and I'll show you how that goes. Okay, so I have the window laid out. This is the inside of the window. Hopefully you can see that it curves up a little bit here. I laid out my seal all the way around it. There is a slight seam in it where the 2 pieces, or the 1 piece, was joined together. I'm going to put that in the center of the bottom of the window. Some applications it might not be like this. It might just be one long piece. If that's the case, you're going to want to put the seam in the center bottom portion of the window anyway. So I'm just going to locate that there. Now I'm going to start putting the soapy water in the groove and then working it. I'm going to start here, and I'm going to just work around the window to get the whole thing, the whole seal all the way around the window. Okay, it is on. I know I fast forwarded through that or sped it up a bit. It did take quite a while. That was a bit of a pain. I've done the seals before that were split, that had the split that weren't seamed together like this one, and they go on pretty easily. This one, since it was all one piece, was a little tougher because, as you can imagine, like trying to go around these sides and the curves and everything, it just wants to pull. So just take your time with it. Like I said, use a lot of soapy water, and it'll eventually go on. My arms are a little bit tired right now, and I think I may have pulled a muscle in my back. So I am going to take a break. I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to get the rope in it and show you how to put it in. So I'm getting ready to install the rope all the way around this, and I just wanted to show you how that goes. So like I was saying earlier, we're going to take the end of the rope, we're going to let it hang out. This is the bottom center section of the window. And then here's the groove. We're going to start tucking this rope in all the way around. So we're just going to work it like this all the way around the whole perimeter, and then we're going to get back to here, and then we're going to let the rest of it hang out. So when it's done, the rope will be in this groove all the way around the window, and then it's going to hang out probably about a foot. It doesn't necessarily need to hang out that much, but I'm going to let it hang out about that much to give myself some room to work with. Once that's done, we're going to take the window and we're going to set it in place. We're going to set the bottom lip on obviously on the bottom rail or the bottom edge of the seal around the body, and then we're going to start pulling this out. So as we pull it, it's going to expand this groove here, and it's going to allow it to flip over top of the lip on the body of the car and seal it. So like I said, I'm going to take this suction cup, stick it to the middle. I'm going to try to pull in. Typically you would have someone on the outside of the car holding the window in place slightly in and down to keep pressure on this bottom seal. That way as you work around, it stays in place. I'm going to try to do it myself and see how this works. I'm going to have one hand holding the suction cup and the other hand so I can pull in and down a little bit, and then the other hand slowly working this this rope out. We're going to see how it goes. Okay, so I have the window in place. You can see I have my two pieces of rope sticking out sort of in the center area of it. And here is the metal lip. You can actually see it maybe a little bit better over here. This is the metal lip that I need to get that down and around. So again, I got my suction cup. I'm going to try to pull down on it and then get this seated down in here. Looking at this window is a little bit tougher than maybe like a flat panel and maybe like a pickup truck or something. So I may need two people, but I'm going to give this a shot and we'll see how it goes. If it doesn't work, then we'll try it again with someone else. this is going, but it's a little bit difficult, and I think what I should have done, and I'm going to maybe pull some of this out and redo it, is get a spray bottle with a little bit of soapy water in it to help it slide around just a little bit, because it is so close. I have it from the center section of the bottom of the window all the way up to this corner, but it needs to go over just a hair, and I can't get it to move because the rubber's sticking. So I'm going to mix some of that up and then get back to it. Okay, so the window's in. I did get it in myself. I don't know if that suction cup made a whole lot of difference. It did seem to help a little bit, but what I did was I stood from the outside, put some downward pressure in and down to get that bottom lip seated, and then worked my way around. And then once I got to the corners, the sides, I reached in through the back window and worked the rope as I was pushing on the window. And then the top I just did from the inside. I just pulled down and used the suction cup to kind of pull it down in place. So it is in place. So the one thing though, I'm not sure if it's just a fitment issue with this seal or if it's the car in general or whatever. This side, passenger side, is perfect. Like, it worked out perfectly. This was a little bit tight trying to get in from the inside, but once I got it, it was real nice fitment. The driver's side though has a gap, and I don't like it. You can probably see it right there. There's a bit of a gap. Now the seal did go over top of the lip on the inside, so it looks like it did actually seal, but obviously water could get down in this area. I don't think it's going to get into the car, but it could get under here, and I just don't like the look of that. So I need to think about this. I don't know if I'm going to take the window back out and try to redo it or what. Again, it could be something with this particular seal, or it might be a fitment issue with the car. I don't know. But either way, that's the process to get it in. You can do it yourself. It is a little bit of a pain. It did take me a little while. Probably took me a good hour to get the window in by itself, get everything aligned and get it in. Definitely use a lot of soapy water when you do around the perimeter. That helps it slide just a little bit and helps when you're pulling the rope. And maybe use some gloves on the inside, depending on the type of rope you have. It makes it a little bit easier to pull the rope and get it seated. So that's it. Hope it helps you guys with your project. Again, you could use the same type of process for the front windshield, for any other types of windows that you have on your older cars, even on some of the newer cars. So appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Click the little like button below. We appreciate it. Comment if there's anything that you saw that you think could be improved or that you liked in the video, or if there's something else on one of these vehicles that you'd like to see us do. Thanks again.